We watched the 5 best F1 movies in one day, 10-hour binge. We're going to rank them today. Let's get into it.
The first movie we watched was called Grand Prix, made in 1966. Yeah, the story was pretty good though.
It was romance. There's I liked how it was multiple storylines.
Yeah.
That definitely helped with a long movie like that. You kind of need that. It would get pretty boring if it was just one storyline the whole time. You followed a bunch of different people and they were intertwined and friends and
Yeah. Pretty funny movie too.
Yeah.
We were laughing at it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just actually because it was a funny movie, or it was just old and we were just what the hell?
I think it's a little bit of both. We definitely laughed at parts we weren't meant to.
Yeah.
Nino. But I feel like Nino's supposed to be a funny guy.
Yeah, Nino's definitely supposed to be funny.
Just just so good. Just a dog.
Yeah.
Just a dog. They all were kind of dogs.
Yeah.
Just every line was poetry romance to each other.
It's noir.
Film noir.
Noir.
I think it's noir.
Noir.
Yeah. And then the onboard footage was just so sick. That's got to be the coolest part of the movie. The movie opens up with 10 minutes of Monaco racing.
Yeah, and it's all real,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Did I ever show you the picture of how they filmed it?
No.
It's just the camera on the front of the car, and it looks like a super retro camera. It's pretty big.
A huge GoPro.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it was cool to see just the cars, and then also seeing the city, or the racetracks themselves.
Yeah.
Because they're completely different. And Aiden was pointing out to me how in Monaco specifically, there's just there were no buildings, none of the new condos, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's just it was cool to see how the racetracks have changed.
And all the outfits were cool and
yeah, super cool style. Everyone's ripping cigs.
Yeah.
Just constantly.
Just kind of like a little time travel movie.
Yeah.
Just going back to the good old days. I ranked this one number 1.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay. Starting off strong.
It just coming out of the gates hot. We're going in order. We're ranking them in order of how we watch them throughout the day. So this one just happened to be number 1 on my list. I like it. It's a good mix of like we said, story, love story, great cars, sound was great, just very unique.
I'm gonna put this at number 2.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty high up there.
I'm glad we're not the same because that would have been really boring if you're it's also number 1.
It's definitely tempting. I would say if you are a fan of F1 for the cars and you're curious about history and stuff like that, I would definitely recommend this one just to see how the sport has progressed and seeing what the cars used to look like, the tracks, all that. It's just a great history lesson. And then on top of that, you get a great movie, a great film of passion and love and cheating and all that.
Yeah, dude. It's
I don't
spicy.
know. Am I supposed to say that?
It's spicy. You gotta watch it. So the next movie was Rush, another pretty high budget featured film, a non-documentary.
Yeah.
Starring some pretty big actors, decent budget, pretty new too.
2011.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, good memory.
Yeah.
In my notes here, I have pretty high quality, just good cinematography. The racing though was not great.
Yeah.
A lot of it was CGI, which I understand because they're trying to portray older racing with James Hunt and Niki Lauda, which I get, but I don't know. It seemed like it was more focused on the story than actually the F1 part of it. So I think they were trying to brand themselves to a wider audience than just F1 fans, which makes sense.
Yeah, I think just the whole rivalry was super cool because I didn't really know much about Niki Lauda or James Hunt.
Yeah.
And just seeing them in what was F3? F4
yeah,
maybe?
F3 when they started.
Seeing them meet and then slowly become rivals, but then also friends in the end, kind of.
Yeah, just respect for each other. And
so I think that was a really cool aspect of the story. But yeah, I think one of my issues with it was the CGI. And that might just be because it's 13 years later and we're just kind of used to it. Because I assume when it first came out,
it probably looked good.
Yeah, it probably looked fine.
I wrote down here that I really enjoyed was the soundtrack. There was the eerie violin playing, the dun-na-na, dun-na-na. Did you
I didn't notice
that?
that. No.
It's like every like big moment or like before the race, it was
Okay.
like da-na-na, na-na-na. But I put it at number 4.
Okay.
So pretty low down there.
Yeah.
Still like a good movie. Like it's hard because like these are the best F1 movies or some of the best F1 movies you can watch. So like they're definitely all good.
I put this one at number 3. So I thought it was a really cool movie, good story. But if you're looking for a film or looking for like good F1 footage, it's maybe not the best one to watch. Maybe with like, I would say watch it with someone who maybe doesn't know a lot about F1 or is looking just for a fun movie night, something like that.
Yeah. Like I watched it with my mom the first time
Yeah,
I watched it.
it's a
And
good one.
she didn't know much about motorsport and still loved it because, of course, like we said, it's focused on the storyline. So
Yeah. Good movie,
it's
though.
good. Yeah.
The next movie we watched was Weekend of a Champion, starring
Jackie Stewart.
as himself. This one I really liked. It was just about one weekend in Monaco, which I thought was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of felt like when we first started it was just so raw. It felt like a vlog.
Yeah.
It was like,
It's like a vlog from the 70s when it came out, like
Yeah.
70, 75, 76.
yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, it was just literally someone just following him around with a camera, which was sick.
Super cool. What are they called? Sideburns?
Yeah.
Just sideburns.
Sideburns everywhere.
No safety, cigarettes.
But I really enjoyed when he was just like in his hotel room talking
Yeah.
about like how he's driving the car and like how the racing line, he's like, you gotta be gentle with the car. He's using like 2 like butter sticks from like breakfast, and then like his shirt's off. It's just like so casual. And
Yeah.
he's just like explaining that. And he's just like a cool guy.
Yeah,
Like,
very cool guy.
Really cool, like funny, like chill.
Okay, I put this one as my favorite movie.
No
Number
way.
1. Yeah,
Okay.
so this was my favorite movie of the marathon. I just loved it because it was just so raw.
Yeah.
It was like just him, like it would just be like 5 minutes of him talking about how he wants to change his car.
Mm-hmm.
No cuts, no nothing like that. Just like, and that's what I kind of want to know. It's like how these really good drivers think.
I put this one at number 3. I don't know if we should mention this, but when they, at the very end, when they pan out from the footage and it's them when they're older
Oh yeah.
talking about it, and like,
Yeah.
that was really cool because
Yeah.
they're just like reminiscing. They're like, we look like idiots with sideburns on, which is just
Yeah.
cool because they're like still the same guys, like talking about like what F1 was like back then, how it's changed.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool as well. So the 4th movie we watched in this binge was Senna. One of probably the most recognizable F1 movies for people. Like, I know I've heard it like mentioned on podcasts a lot.
Yeah.
Like, just non-F1 fans being like, we watched Senna, it was sick.
I think the person who created it or directed or whatever, he's known for other documentaries.
Oh, really?
So I think he's a famous
Okay.
director or a documentarian.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you
So,
that. I picked this one over Weekend of a Champion because it's not just one weekend, it's a whole, like his whole career. So there's like, it's just a better story. So you have like the Prost battles, you have
Yeah.
like him later, like his reaction to certain big moments in F1. You have like Schumacher coming into the sport. It just covers a lot more, and like, especially because when I watched this for the first time, I knew Senna and Prost had like a bunch of beef when they were racing, but like seeing the footage from like Japan back-to-back years, like the fallout with like the FIA he had, where like the FIA kind of just fucked him over because the FIA was friends with Prost, and they had like the driver meeting footage, like just set up like such a good story. And yeah, I loved it.
So wait, which one did you put it at?
Put it at number 2.
Number 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I put Senna at my number 4. Now, again, this is really hard because they're all good.
Yeah.
And it's very good. But yeah, so I put this at number 4. I thought super cool. I enjoyed how it went throughout his whole career. But that was one of the parts that I didn't like as much, is because it kind of, you miss a lot because it's only trying to get the highlights.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know. You can't make like a 4-hour movie or anything. But
good.
Yeah,
But
good. But and I was looking for some more like interviews or something like that, because it was mostly just footage of like racing or like news footage, which I like, and that's really cool. But I was looking for like some more interviews of people and like first person experiences or something like that.
Yeah. I feel like they just had so much footage, to get through, like you said.
Yeah.
And like when Senna's talking about Prost and the other way around, like I feel like they're pretty unfiltered in that to begin with. Like I feel like a lot of that beef they wouldn't even do today, because you have like PR people and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it was pretty raw, and you got to see like a lot of his like private life. Like we was on the boat and they're just playing like Brazilian jazz.
Yeah,
and stuff.
super
like,
vibey.
Last but not least, we'll see. It's least for me because I've gone through all of them by now. Was Schumacher.
Yeah.
So mine might be a little bit tainted because we're 8.5 hours in.
Yeah.
To watching movie after movie. At this point, we're getting pretty tired.
Yeah.
But I didn't even write any notes down. I think I was just so done. But yeah, Schumacher was an interesting one. I put it at the bottom of my list because we talked about this while we were watching it, but it felt like a part one to like a series.
Yeah.
Like it only like went through his like early career for the most part of it, and like didn't talk about, like, it kind of stopped at his
third.
Did he even? Well, it was like, I think it stopped. Like the main climax was him winning his first world championship with Ferrari.
Yeah, but that was his third overall, right?
Yeah, third overall.
Okay, third overall. Yeah. So first Ferrari championship win. It ended.
Yeah, and then they like had like 5 minutes of the rest of them, and then like his time at Mercedes, which I feel like deserves a little bit more time. Like I feel like it should have been like a docu-series or something, kind of like Braun. Which is why it kind of sunk to the bottom. But what are your thoughts in your ranking?
It's number 5 for me too.
Okay.
So that was my last one.
Yeah, I wasn't keeping track in my head, but
I did enjoy it though. If you have Netflix, it's nice because it's just on Netflix. 2 hours, very cool. Cool to learn about Schumacher because he's kind of like a legend. 7 world championships.
GOAT.
Cool guy. And it's also, I think it was made in 2021.
Yeah, it's like the newest documentary.
Yeah, so it's new, so it's good because the quality is good and just it's like a very modern documentary, which I liked. I also liked it because it had a lot of his, or not a lot, but it showed a little bit of his childhood and how he grew up in Germany, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was, I don't know, it was cool though. It was cool.
Just showed how good of a guy he was too.
Yeah.
Like
Very
just a family guy. Super sad when the kids were talking about him at the end.
Yeah. Very sad.
But yeah, extremely good movie. Cool. That's a list. But yeah, let me know what you guys would rank these movies, or let us know any recommendations you have that we didn't have on this list. Thank you for watching.
Yeah. If there's like 5 worst F1 movies, we'll just watch those for 10 hours too. Rank those.
Dude, that'd be brutal. That'd be
The
brutal.
Al Pacino one. Oh no.
Oh, my car won't start. Oh,
My God.
I'm about to move, yeah.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys think. I'm sure someone out there, I'm sure there's a better one. McLaren.
Yeah, we weren't able to watch the McLaren one. We were pretty limited because some are on like pretty weird streaming services. And
Yeah.
there's
Fubo
1,000 of them
or whatever.
now, so it's difficult. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah.
We'll see you later.
I don't recommend doing this. It was not. It wasn't that fun.
It was aggressive.
It was fun.
I didn't mind it.
It was fun, but like, if you're not doing it for a video or something, I don't know.
It's
Maybe
also just
spread
like
'em out.
bad weather outside, so like I didn't really care to like waste a Sunday.
A lot of screen time.